Welcome to our channel, Bringing Sunlight into Mental Health. We hope you have watched our last video. In case you haven't, ensure you do so through the link in our bio. The world is evolving from imperfection to perfection. It needs all love and sympathy. Great tenderness and watchfulness are required from each one of us. This is a quote by Hazrat Khan. In this episode, we are going to learn about bipolar. We will learn from a young man's personal experience. Indeed, after watching this episode, you will appreciate that there is great need of tenderness, love, sympathy, and watchfulness. Let us learn to be our brother's keeper. Welcome to the channel. Watch and learn. God bless.
Thank you for this chance. My name is John. I'm a student, let me say a post-student at Kenyatta University. I'm a psychology major. Right now I'm awaiting graduation as we speak. Much of it I like to call myself a mental health ambassador because through the experience that I've had over my life and maybe what I've seen other people go through, that is what, when I hear people talk about mental illness, I'm so much interested to hear what they have to say, what they want to know about it. I have had a personal experience that was back in 2020 when I lost my father. I can remember that by then I thought that not crying meant that I was strong. That if I don't cry, if I don't grieve, it will mean that people will see, yes, this is the man in the society. But what I didn't know is that by holding the grief inside me, it was just eating me from inside, just slowly, and I never knew. Until one day I started becoming impulsive. I didn't want to relate well with people. I was always in argument with other people. I was always in argument with my mother, with my friends, with my family. To an extent that it was in an alarming stage where they tried even to talk to me at a personal level. So it took time for me until I decided, well, I need to talk to someone because I see it is escalating. And that's why I decided to seek one of the counselors around I know. And that's when I knew that I was just lucky to go early because I was developing depression. I was able to get out of it and I was able to heal completely. But I can say that I learned a lot from it. And that's why when I hear people that they are in grief, I'm usually interested and I usually like to tell people it is nice to let your emotions out, it is nice to grieve, and it is nice to let things go. Right now, I'm having a situation that I'm handling. My mother is having bipolar, as I can say. And its manifestation also occurred after my father's demise. Number one, she did not grieve during my father's burial, and
She didn't grieve.
She didn't grieve.
Yeah.
Because the idea of not grieving, I took it from her. She told me, do not grieve, do not show that you're weak, be strong, as in, don't show it, usionyeshe watu. What I can say much about that is religion. She's a Protestant from these African indigenous churches. You know, in these churches, their roots are deep in the African culture.
Yeah.
So much more talking about grieving, they don't even talk about it, about maybe telling people you should grieve, you should let your emotions out. This act of demonizing everything, saying or associating everything with spirituality,
yeah,
this is what has been affecting these people.
Mm.
Because you'll find that when something happens, something bad happens, you want to associate it with the witchcraft, with someone who has been planning evil on you. So when you have those kind of minds, you are like trapped in a bottle. I mean that, so you'll find that when something happens, you'll say, they succeeded. So I don't want to show them that they made me fall. By us grieving does not mean that we are not Christians. What I can say that the thing that has been affecting them and us in general, let me say as the African culture, it is that we are not informed, we don't know. And that is why we cannot blame them because they don't know. They don't know what is the importance of grieving. So what if there someone who would inform them on the importance of grieving, on the importance of letting other people go, let me say you've lost someone, on the importance of maybe talking to maybe a practitioner or someone else about your problems, maybe if they knew about that, it would be easy for them. But now the fact that they view everything in their realm like it is about spirituality, it's about God, it's about witchcraft and such. That is why you'll find that in case something happens, they associate it to that, and maybe not because they want to remain strong. They want to show those enemies, I quote enemies, those people who have been planning evil for them or against them, because they want to show them they are strong. That is why they will withhold grieving and maybe to show that they are strong.
So your mother did not grieve?
Yes.
And so after your father died, how did you start knowing that there is an issue?
Well, what I can say about bipolar manifests itself in two different ways. Number one, manic, and number two, hypomanic. Hers was, she was expressing herself in the manic episode. The manic episode, this is where we see extreme energy. That is, you'll see someone staying up at night, maybe late at night. They have a lot of goal-oriented activities. Maybe you'll see she have gone to do dishes, to do clothes, gone to the garden, from there gone to a friend. Like, there are a lot of activities they do. Number two, they become impulsive. Impulsive in a state that you can be calm in a moment, and then after some minutes, maybe if you are talking, then you find that they are not responding to the way you were communicating before. And I can say that for her, it started through, let me say, hyperreligiosity. Hyperreligiosity, it started to manifest because I can say she's a Christian. I'm also a Christian, and I can say a staunch one. And I can say that the act of Christianity and all about Christianity, I got them from her and my father, who was a pastor. And I can say that the fact that she was in the church, so her manifestation came in the church. So she started indulging in Christianity more than before, or in the religious practices more than before. You'd find that most of the time, let me say, the whole time she's spending on maybe praying, inviting friends, they pray together, maybe the whole day, and you'll find that it will occur concurrently, maybe for a week, for 2 weeks, until you find that other people maybe my siblings are saying, no, we shouldn't be doing this, we should be finding days like maybe Tuesday and Thursday, and then we should be doing this, and then on the other days we should be doing the normal tasks.
So what you're saying is that she was originally in church, but after your father died, she became even more.
Yeah.
She like tried to replace your father in the activities in church, so that she was having so much more activity in church and not outside church with other people.
Yeah, that is how it started manifesting itself. And what we can say about bipolar, we say it is a mental disorder, right? And we say mental disorders are those activities or those practices that we do that are deviating from the norm.
Yeah.
That is maybe the social norm, psychological norm, medical norm. So for her, we saw that this is not normal. But we just thought that maybe because my father's gone, maybe she's trying to use this to heal. But later on, then it started manifesting in different ways. We find that she's engaging in a lot of activities more than before. And then this was much alarming, but then we thought, like, is it normal? Is this what is happening? But then we were reluctant, and we waited until then it escalated to an extent that now this religious part, let me say, ni kama ili burst. That is in a situation that happened, let me think, about 2021, when my brother was still in Nairobi, and then he was called and he was told that there is a situation happening at home. So when he went at home, he found that my mother had gone to my neighbor, and she was saying that, I want you to give me, unipatie kamba nijiue, because watoto wangu wote wameuzwa kwa shetani. So she was not in the real mind, because she was in the manic episode, so she was not herself.
So at that moment is when you people knew that there was something wrong.
Yeah, so that is then when we realized that something is not going well. Then we took her to hospital, and then she was stable for a long time. Everything went back to normal. But I think there is a mistake we did, I can say, as a family, because we left her alone. So, you know, loneliness perpetuates bipolar. So I guess that's why we did the wrong mistake or the wrong move. So from then, that's when now, after maybe a year, then it manifested again. And by this time it was through doing some things that we could say they are odd. You'd find maybe doing things and saying the doctor told me to do this, or doing something and saying the pastor told me to do this. And maybe also these people we call bipolar patients, they are very overgenerous. You'll find that I was giving my friend the story that umenunua, let me say, beans, and then you find zimeenda and she has given a friend. Yeah, such situations would happen. They become overgenerous, overindulging. They become. It's like you can think that they're becoming more social, but if you see that this thing is deviating, if it is, maybe, let me say, it is so much alarming when you find that someone will give you something and then they be left with nothing. You know, I have maybe a packet of unga and I give you all of it and I'm left having nothing. So that is one of their characteristics.
Who noticed it first?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I noticed, and then I started informing my brothers, but still they wouldn't take it that it is a mental problem.
How many brothers and sisters are you?
Sadly, I don't have a sister. I only have 3 brothers, and I'm the last.
You're the last?
Yeah.
And you're the one who noticed?
Yeah. Well, I can say I noticed because, number one, I'm the one who inherited my father on the pastoral ring, because I like preaching, so I'm very much well conversant with the Bible. Number 2, now I'm well conversant with the psychology part. That is when maybe because they used to come to consult me about the things she was doing, maybe is it biblical or something. That is when I told them, according to what I'm seeing and according to when this situation began, this something is not spiritual. And then after doing consultation with some of people who are much senior in the psychology field than me, that is when we came to conclusion, and I told them that there is a problem, and I say she's having bipolar. Now, not until then, when she was taken to a local dispensary and the nurse was there who referred us to a psychiatrist, she recommended that the diagnosis probably is bipolar.
So when you noticed this, and you told your siblings, how did they react to it?
I can say now, the first, they needed evidence to know. So I just sent them a link and told them, go and search bipolar and see the symptoms of bipolar and look if they are correlated to the behavior she is.
At that moment, was your mother aware that there is something different with her?
No.
According to her, she was normal.
She was okay.
And according to the society around her?
Not. According to the society, she was not.
She was not?
Yeah.
And what was the society around her, apart from the siblings, you and the siblings? What was the society around her doing or thinking or saying?
You know, much of what they'll do is that they'll just speak on low tones. So when you talk to 2 or 3 people, that is when you notice, like, oh, so they were talking about it. So they know, so they have seen there is something different. So from the psychiatrist, then we went to level 4 hospital that is around. So that is where we have been attending clinics, that is mental clinics. The diagnosis was bipolar. Though really she has not accepted it as a diagnosis, maybe because she says, no, I'm well. But I can say that we try to come up with to devise another way to help her cope it. That is by accepting the situation, by showing love, and by incorporating her in the things we are doing, and also finding time. Like for now, I said, even if I'm done with Phobia, I'm not going first to such a job. I will give myself time to go and stay with her because I understand her much better. and maybe help her cope with it.
How about your siblings?
Well, I've taken time and we have discussed. I remember there was a time we called each other through a conference call and we discussed and we agreed on it, and they are well with it now. They understand what is going on. They understand her situation right moment. Before I took psychology, I never knew anything about mental health. I never knew anything about these psychiatric disorders. So I think it will be hard, and maybe we would be there searching for pastors and maybe religious leaders, maybe cultural leaders, maybe to help us with the problem. Because what I can say that if you are not informed about something, then you'll just be naive about it. I can say we start from where we are. For example, there was a time I was given a chance to speak somewhere in church, and I was given a chance to give the sermon in the Bible study at the end. And when doing the Bible study, I said that we are going now to deviate from the Bible and then dive into mental health, while we were speaking about emotional healing. So I believe that we should start from where we are, because if we do not help ourselves at this moment, I don't think there is someone else who is coming to help us. Because I know we are scattered in these terms of knowledge. Maybe I'm from here, I know about this, and you from maybe in this place, you know about it. So if we can start from where we are, our homes, maybe let our siblings know about what we know. When we go to the church, let us educate the church. Let us make them understand that there is something called mental health disorders. Let us make them understand how they can cope with it, and also maybe helping them know that there is importance in talking to maybe a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or a counselor for them to be helped. So for me, I think the greatest initiative is not even for the government, but it should start from us.
Thank you so much. You've given us a lot.
Thank you.
Mental illness is real and with us. Together, we need to open up and demystify it. Our next episode will be a general overview by our consultant psychiatrist. Be sure to watch it. The subsequent episodes will be first-hand narratives of caregivers and those affected. Please subscribe, click on the notification bell, and ensure you don't miss the new videos every Monday. Blessings.